Hey guys, welcome to the video tutorial for Golden Retriever. Let's go ahead and jump right into the app. The first time you launch the app, you might notice this screen, this little pop-up here that says you don't have permissions. And that basically means that you disabled one of the permissions in the first time you launch the app. We'll go ahead and run down some of the permissions here and why you need them. The first one is run in background, which simply means the app needs this to run in headless mode, so you don't always have to keep the UI open, and it can process commands even with the app closed. Next one is location. For you to be able to locate your device remotely by sending a command, it needs that permission to use your GPS. The third one here is to be able to set your device's profile, for example, in vibrate mode or in silent mode. You can do that remotely, but you need that permission. The next one is for the calendar command. The calendar command needs the calendar permission to access your calendar. The contacts, to be able to look up contact details remotely using the contact command. The next one, email and pin messages. This is fundamental for the app to be able to monitor your mailbox for incoming commands that come in. Then there's the shared files to actually access your shared folder and for you to remotely access your shared folder and get your files. That's for the get command specifically. Then for the text messages, that's for the unread SMS command for you to read your unread SMS messages remotely. Then you have the microphone, which is for the mic command to be able to record audio remotely and send it back to you, and also the camera command, which is for the feature camera snapshots and things like that that's needed. So you want to make sure you have all of these on, otherwise the app might not function properly and it might complain about it. So when you first launch the app, it's going to ask you to create a master password, and that simply means that you don't want any random person to just open up your phone and start allowing just about anybody to send you messages. So this is the app is getting you to authenticate. It's going to get you to authenticate every single time. Whatever password you set, every single time you open the app, it's going to ask you to input that password. So you want to make sure you remember that. So you hit set password and it'll set that password. This next pop-up is for anybody who's ever used Golden Retriever in the past before. There's been some major changes in the app that you need to know about. And the main one is that you need to now include the command as part of the subject line instead of it being separate into the body. So before, for example, the command would appear in the body, and the subject line would be something like golden, or the keyword that allows, like a keyword password that allows the message to actually go through and be processed. Now it's actually the command is now part of the subject line itself. So, you would say something like golden space battery, where the battery is the command that you're trying to do. And the main reason you have to do this is because of performance and battery reasons, and like battery saving purposes. And the reason for that is, in order to, let's just say you sent yourself 100 different commands per day, the app would need to actually parse, download the actual message body every single time of those emails and parse them. And that's actually pretty expensive to download the message body over and over. And it's actually much faster and more efficient on the battery to just actually do a quick lookup on the header of the message to find the subject line, and it's much faster to do. And it's also much less, puts less pressure on the battery, which means you have much better battery life with the app running. So that's why we made that change. We'll run down exactly what, the more details on that just through the app. So hit OK on that. And next thing is going to ask you, do you want to see the video tutorial? You're already watching the video tutorial, so you can press yes on that if you want to see that again. This next one here is now saying in the accounts tab, it's saying, which mailbox do you want to monitor for incoming commands? So we're going to want to monitor this command, this mailbox. And that basically is saying that all our commands that we're going to set is going to have to be sent at this email address, smsprayers@gmail.com. That's going to have to be in the to field whenever we send the emails. The next one is in the whitelist field, and basically this is just security, for security purposes. You don't want just anybody to be able to send you a command and start controlling your device. You don't want anybody to be able to maybe send you a location command into your mailbox and the app process it. So this is a security measure to only allow certain individuals to be able to, or certain email addresses to be able to send the commands from. So, we have, by default, it lists all the different, the addresses that are already on your device, that are set up on your device. I'm going to go ahead and set up a completely separate one that I'm going to be sending the email through. So you can hit add email here, and I'll set up this email address that I'm going to use to send commands. So now, from now on, this email address is the only one that the app is going to process commands from. Anybody else that tries to send any commands, it's going to completely ignore it. In the bottom here, we have the logs tab, and that's simply showing all the different messages that came in so far. None of them came in so far. So I'm going to run down some of the other things here with you. The thing is the settings. So at the settings level here, it's going to say this subject here. This is the subject password. So this is what's going to be a prefix to every single every single message in the subject line. This needs to be the prefix to the subject line. And the app will only process commands if this is in the beginning of the subject line. So for example, by default, it's golden. We can change that to, let's just say XYZ2. That's going to be, let's say, our special password. Anytime the app notices that a message comes in with that subject line starting with XYZ2, then it'll treat it as a potential command that it can use. And obviously if it's not that, then it'll disregard the message completely. And underneath that, we have delete incoming request and delete outgoing response. And delete incoming request simply is saying that if the after the message is processed, if the command is processed, do you want to delete that incoming message that came in? And the delete outgoing response is simply after you reply to the message, do you want that response to be deleted from your mailbox? Just a quick note here that delete outgoing response, there's currently a bug in OS 10.2.1 where it's not able to delete it properly. There's some API issues with the BlackBerry 10 API that they're going to be fixing in a later OS update. So for now, this one, even if it's turned on, it might not be able to delete the email properly. So with that enabled, we'll jump right to some of the commands that are available. So if you swipe down from the top and you go to help, this is all the different commands that are available. So we have some documentation here on the app, and here at the bottom is all the different commands that the app supports at this time. There's also the video tutorial, which is what you're watching here. You can go to our BBM channel to get more support. In the meantime, you can expand any of these things to get you more information on how to use the command. So there's actually a lot of documentation on how to use each of these commands. We'll run down a couple, live with you, but you can find more information here on actually how to use the commands. So let's say we can actually use the battery command for now, just as a test. So this is how we're going to do it. So a couple of things here. Remember, we're going to be sending an email to smsprayers@gmail.com. That's the one we're monitoring. Our subject is going to have to be starting with XYZ2. That's our password. By the way, we can also change our master password here, the one we set in the very beginning of the app. So we're going to run down quickly how to do that. So notice I'm going to send an email address. Sorry, this is the email address I'll be sending the message from. Notice that this is the one that's been whitelisted. If I send an email from anything outside of this email address, it's not going to get processed by the app. So another thing to note, by the way, is that this email address here, canadainc2@gmail.com, is not the same email address that's being monitored. You can't have the smsprayers@gmail.com. I can't send an email from smsprayers@gmail.com to smsprayers@gmail.com with a command. It's not going to work. The app does not support it. You're going to get an error message if you ever try to do that. So you want to make sure that the email address that you're sending from and the email address that you're sending to are two different mailboxes. They can't be the same. So let's go ahead and now run down a quick one here. So remember, the email address we're going to be sending to is there. To smsprayers@gmail.com. That's the one that's being monitored. The subject line is going to have to be the prefix of that we set in the settings, so XYZ2, followed by the command. So any random command that we want, for example, let's say battery, we send that off, and now we wait. Basically, now what that's going to do is the app is now monitoring for incoming messages. That command comes in, and you don't notice that the app processed it, and it should have sent an email back to us. So if we reload here, and there it is, we see that the app replied to us to the email with the correct battery information and everything. Perfect. So let's try another one. Let's try. Christmas prayers once again, and XYZ2. We can try the get command. A get command is actually really cool because you can actually fetch the files on your device remotely. So let's just say in my downloads folder, I have these two files. I have my images.jpg and logo.png. Let's say I want my images.jpg file. So I'm going to say get images.jpg, send. So when I send that off, the app should now process that command just like before. And see, it gives you 200 OK, which means that it was able to send back the file properly. And let's go ahead and have a look here. Let's reload. And look, it sent me the file as an attachment, whichever file that I wanted, and I can save that further, whatever it is that I want. So as you can see here, basically, you can go through and you have all these commands that you can find useful. That you can actually you can go through and test out. If you want to ever clear this, you can actually just go clear logs. That'll clear all the logs. Now I'll show you something else for for the security reasons. So if you wanted to now, let's just say send a message with the wrong prefix here. So I'm only saying XYZ and not XYZ2. I can say XYZ. I don't know, battery. Notice that this is not going to work. The app is not going to process this command because the subject line does not match. So it's going to just be sitting in my mailbox here. It's not going to get processed because it's the password in the subject line did not match. So you want to make sure that matches. You can also test out some of these commands. So all these commands that we see here, you'll be able to test some of these things out on your own by just using this test harness here. And this basically simulates you sending yourself an email. So by default it populates the password for you, and you can whatever. Let's just say we wanted to put battery here. It mimics a battery command just like that. Let's try another one like profile. So what we can do is, let's just say we say XYZ profile. If we type profile by default, default profile command, that just gets you back the actual the profile that the device is set to. So it's saying the device is currently set to vibrate, which it is. Now, if I wanted to, I can actually say, here I'll show you using email just so you get a live response here. I'm going to say, so it is SMS. And I'm going to say, sorry, XYZ2, and so the command that we wanted to test out was the profile. So I wanted to set, let's just say I want to set profile to normal. Hit send. So you're going to notice that we should successfully, the device notification was successfully set, and that should give us, if you look, the profile is now set to normal. So you'll be able to use this to send yourself emails and remotely set your profile and all that stuff. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much covers the gist of the app. You have your whitelist. You want to make sure that this is pretty secure here. That no one is going to be able to no one else is going to be able to send you messages. You can also hit the add email to add more. And that's really it. We really, and if you have any issues, always go to bug reports. If you want, if we ask you, you can hit submit logs to send us some bug reports. See existing bug reports here. You can turn on service logging to get more detailed logging when you want to set. So when you want to send us, bug reports, well, you want to make sure that the service logging is on, and then you can hit the submit logs, so it gets much more verbose logs. And that's really it. Notice that if I close the app, reopen the app, it's going to ask me for my password, and without that password, I'm not going to be able to get in. So here I'll show you. From here, see, it's not going to work. Wrong passwords are not going to work. So it's a little layer of security there. Once again, you have your thing to test. If you like the app, please do review it. Please leave us a positive review on BlackBerry World. If you have any other issues, definitely do reach out to us. File a bug report. Go to the help and send us an email at support@canadainc.org. We'll be more than happy to help you out. If you have any other issues, do let us know. We do hope you enjoyed the app. If you have anything else, hit us up on our BBM channel, and we hope you enjoyed the app, and we can definitely try to help you out if you have any issues. Thank you again for watching. Take care.